I'm here. Hello, everyone, young and old. Ladies and gentlemen, young and old, those who care and those who don't, welcome. We're about to do our stream as usual. I was able to do a lot of updates off stream, as I do oftentimes. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. There's a lot of visual updates that I'm going through to do it. And unfortunately, I started having another idea for a game. So I started taking a note on that too. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Hold on. Void. Wait. I didn't turn on my... This is how bad it is. It's been that long. It's been so long that I forgot to turn on my little berry folk stuff. Test. Okay. It's on. You can claim first now again. I should probably... Hold on. Is it disabled? No, it's not disabled. I should probably disable it. Hey, Void. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to try to make an announcement here real quick. Do all our usual stuff. We're getting ever so close to making an update to our Steam page. I hired a contract studio for the new capsule art. I shared it with the chat here, asking which one of the design looks better. I think we're going with design A. Where is it? Right here, this one through the shatter. Though I'm second guessing the eye part, so I'm trying to change the eye part into more like a crystal. But we'll see. Hey, Mikori. Good to see you as well. Anyways, so we're going through it. Things are looking okay. I'm going through some visual changes, and as I'm doing the visual changes, which means I'm also doing a lot of the first-time user experience thing, I'm also going through a lot of glasses crystal. Same thing. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, that's not what I was trying to open. I'll show you some of the visual updates I have gone through. And I'm also trying to make some videos again. So there are a lot of things that are pending for me that I need to work on. Mikuri says, I don't think I've seen you with glasses before. You have seen me with glasses. I've been doing contacts last time, I think, because my glasses broke. So I had to get a new one. This is a new one. It's an aviator one. So this is my new image, everyone. Little Dahmer-ish, but, you know. Hey, Terabyte. Welcome. Yeah. That's why it probably feels different. But look, here it is. A lot has changed. A little changed, but a lot changed at the same time. Mikuri says, little what? Like Dahmer, like Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, is it? You see, the visuals are a little different. The fonts are different. Voice says, oh, Ez is wearing glasses. This is a first. I always wear my glasses. What are you talking about? It's just different glasses. Ready? Look. This is important. Ready? Ooh. This is a shader. That was fun to make. And then here it is. Here's a little fragmented world. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pixelate the rainbow color. So this is like the beginning sequence that I was able to make so far. And I'm still going through it and trying to make it like, you know, feel more visually complete. And you know, it'll come about. So we'll see how that goes. This part I just came up with today. Because I was like, how do I make it so that it's not just text, but then like you can kind of see better? So I'm doing that. Terabyte says, I haven't watched your stream for a long time. What are you making? This game is called Through the Shatter. It's a roguelike adventure strategy game that's like basically graph node based traversal thing where you use your energy to travel and then you use your provision. It's like this, you know, like typical roguelike fashion. But yeah. So that's what we've been working on. I forgot to pin some comments here. So let me pin my wish list. Here, Through the Shatter. I've been trying to finish the demo for this game by end of June, but I'm not sure if it's going to come through. I am working on... Well, I'm waiting on the capsule art. And then I have to make some trailer once the game is complete. So we're going through it right now. Wish list. Maybe I should say our game now. Boop. And then I'll pin that. But yeah, it's an interesting game, I think. Wish list. Our game now. I don't think I will hit June Next Fest. Because June Next Fest, I should already be, like, I should already have trailer. I should already have like 3,000 wish lists and whatnot. So what I'm thinking is, it's not going to be Next Fest, but I will release the demo for Next Fest. As in, like, it'll be timed so that the demo is available while Next Fest is going on. But I won't be submitting for Next Fest. And then, so because there's like a excitement and people are on the page and whatnot, so potentially there's like interest level that I could garner during that time without actually submitting myself for Next Fest. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I never tried restarting it before, so this is kind of cool. Anyways, once I do that, I'm going to do some trailer, make some dev vlogs, do a little bit of like a marketing push for a few months, and then aim for October Next Fest. So that by the time we do Next Fest, we have at least like 3,000, 4,000 wish lists. That's our goal here. So we're going through it. That's where we'll be. Manually unpin. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Voice says, whoa, red. Is it red? How red is it? Very nice. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, so I'm doing a lot of this. Restarting the game, sitting there for each moment, noticing anything that I feel like is like kind of like doesn't feel intentional. I'm trying to make it so that every part of it feels intentional. If it doesn't, you know, I have to make sure, you know, that gets plucked out and then replaced. So that's what I've been doing. That's why you see this like beginning part, the transition, and the glass shatter, to make it feel a little bit more whole. Next thing, since I was working on right before I started the stream today, I added that little energy bar thing for the amount of movement. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of like tutorialing for that beginning interaction to see if I can get this feel better. I'm not 100% married on the font of the dialogue yet. It's a little quirky, like a little jokey, so I'm not sure if that's like appropriate tone. Also, right here, this choice button, I have to do something about this. I gotta probably replace this to make it more on theme. Mikori says it's a bit too thick, I think. What is the red? We can always adjust it. Oh, the font. Yeah. I do think so too. Font is always a little tricky. Like it's legible. I mean, that's really important for me. Void says don't what? The font. Yeah, okay. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I changed the stream setting a little bit. Hopefully it feels nothing's wrong. And everything is going well. But yeah. Definitely have to readjust those dialogues, and I have to redo the mapping here because I wanted this to be like little home base where each NPC can like set up shop and upgrade. So I'll do that. Void says font. Damnation autocorrect. Yeah. Hey, Travis. Travis says, hello, Ezra. Hey, long time no see. Bonum Crowd also, long time no see, says, hi, how are you? How good are you with HTML, CSS, JS? Not that great. But if it's something like theoretical, maybe we have some ways to answer. Also, this one, you see how like the title of the item has like a one font, but then the description is the other? And that's on purpose, but I don't know if I like the font of the description. I have to change that a little bit. McCurry says you could have a slightly darker version of the speech bubble, but more rectangular for the button would fit in. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really sure if it should be entirely like boxed in like that, or if it should be something else. I might actually take inspiration. I do a lot of this. I do a lot of this like thing of like looking at, let's say, Slay the Spire to event choices. And just kind of taking a look at already existing design principle to see like how this works. I mean, this is a little different, right? Because there's no dialog box. The entire thing is a backdrop, and then the box choice box itself is a little entity, so it feels a little bit different than having a dialog box. So I might have to adjust for that. What about Slay the Spire to beginning of act choices? What do they look like when you're in the intro? It's a low resolution. Okay, this is just like simple box. Okay. I mean, that's something cool about that. But yeah. Hey, Baka. Baka Design says hello. Hello there. Hello, hello. Bonenkraut Soft says, I was just thinking maybe you can make that wishlist ad more dynamic. Maybe even so dynamic that it plays a short video trailer and then disappears, shows up on timer or so. I do think that's probably something I need to do. I don't have a trailer yet. So a few things I'm waiting on is I'm going through visual cleanup. I want the demo ready, and then I want to make a trailer with the finalized demo along with all the sound, because I'm waiting on the music as well. We're working with Freddie again. We're waiting on some of the sound ideas there, waiting on my new capsule art. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Definitely there's some work with finalization that we're pending on for sure. But okay, how about we do a little shopping here. We'll do some font shopping to see if we can find a good thematic dialogue font that works with it, that's still like pixel style. Like, but then it's dialogue, so it needs to be also legible. Like Compass is good, but this is like too formal. I'm using, I think I'm using one of the free ones for my Dungeon font. I'm using Dungeon font for that intro title and then the item description, or not description, item title. So it can be a little bit stylistic. But when it comes to description, it needs to be completely legible and formal. And then when it comes to dialogue, it needs to be a little bit more characteristic. So there's a dialogue for when people are speaking versus dialogue for when like a story, like the narrative bits are shown up, right? So I'm looking through that. Bonus says, white mode Discord. Yeah, exactly. I'm known for that. I have a white mode, yeah. McCray says, I might use calf for test idea. I have. It looks nice. Calf. Is that a font? Calf font? Under dot font. Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely not for pixel art games, but this has like a very playful image to it that I could see it being really nice for a certain type of game. It's like it gives that feeling of fun. But yeah. Anyways. So let's do a little shopping here. I thought like something like this would be great for dialogue because it's like a little more natural looking, like a handwriting looking. But maybe it is too thick. Bonuses, are you not a pixel mister? How hard can it be to create your own font? Font is so hard to make. I just find font is one of the hard, like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because it's hard to be consistent stylistically throughout all the alphabet. So let's say I'm making my own font, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, exclamation point, all the symbols, right? But thing is, like, stylistically being consistent between the two as opposed to being like, this is just the space I have is little tough. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this one is kind of perfect for description. Right? Description or like narrative dialogue. Like the events. You run across the person, blah, 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 right? It's pretty legible. Has a little flavor. Aeroneo Mystery says, even just choosing fonts is a trapdoor into a deepest circle of micromanagement hell. Yeah, I know. But we have to, it's a thing that we have to do. Like I already, don't get me wrong, I already have a bunch of fonts in here. This one is too digital, so I think we're gonna retire Deco completely. Right now we're using Awesome for dialogue, but I think we're gonna probably move away. This one is too machine-like, which kind of deviates from the game. So I think this has like a thin pixel font that has like a story or like a book feeling to it. So I kind of like this one. Aeroneo Mystery says, SS shopping is healthy though. I should do it myself someday. SS shopping, especially if it's only $2, I feel like it's kind of worth it. Let's see. Let me see if I can do this off screen here. Okay. It's gonna push me through my... Oh, I have PayPal credit. What does that mean? Oh, like credit card. No, thank you. All right, we'll do passage. And I think I'm gonna use that as my dialogue and descriptor. I want to make sure that I don't use too many different fonts across the game, right? Even though it's like for different functions. I still want to be kind of consistent. It's kind of like using palette, right? Palette, color palette. Not palette, palette. Let's see. Open in File Manager. So we got to be careful here. But I think passage is something I could work with here. Let's see. Info box. We'll have my regular dialogue panel label here, the description thing. This one. Instead of this, we'll probably do passage. Feels a little better. What is the intended sizing? 12 or 24? Okay. 24. I think 24 feels good. So I'm going to set that at 24 there. Ewo Insight sup. Hey, welcome. Ewo Insight says, did you watch Summer Games Fest? I know you would be quite interested as a game developer. You know, it's honestly, like, I've heard a lot of news on it. Obviously, what's going viral is it Lafay? The God of War thing has gone viral, so I see that a lot. But I haven't kept up with any of the other stuff that has been announced yet. Let me know if there's any games that you guys feel excited about. I have to say, though, for some reason, I was talking to somebody about this recently, where I was like, something about AAA games I just can't get excited as much as I used to be. I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly. I think I've gotten too snobbish, maybe, potentially. Oh, by the way, is the music too loud? I know I ask this every time I go online because it's like level is always a little different every time. But yeah, no, I haven't been keeping up. I should. I do want to get excited about some games, but alas, here I am. And then, okay, well, so that's the passage. I'm not, okay. Here's a question. Could this actually work for regular dialogue as well? Not just the description dialogue? Yonsai says, I'm excited for Stellar Blade. Blood Rain releasing. I see. Let me see. Stellar Blade. Blood Rain. Let's take a look. Wow, it looks so... Oh, I know this one. Okay, you told me about this game. Or this studio. Or game studio. That you were... I think somebody shared being like, oh yeah, this game is really good. They do the whole, like, they let the gachapon money grab pay to win game to fund their serious games. Yeah. I should probably try it out. All right. I'm going to try to see. I don't know where I'm going to see. The funny thing is, it's not guaranteed that I'm going to get the event that gives me the item. So this may be a little different, but we'll see. Okay, I did get it. Okay. This looks pretty good, right? Does it look oversampled? It looks a little fuzzy, huh? Is that... I mean, it looks soft. It looks nice, but I don't know if it's meant to be that way. I feel like I see some little bit of anti-aliasing, which is okay as long as it still feels cohesive. But I think it's okay. US says, yeah, that's correct, and this is a new one, which they have worked on and are releasing. Yeah, that's exciting. I always love to see new game studio releasing something fun. All right. So I think this passage thing works pretty well. I'm going to try to look for next font for dialogue. Oh, no. Don't. Oh my goodness. You would think that I would be better at this after leaking my information several times. You know how much of a pain in the butt it was to go through the VOD and scrub and blur things? Ugh, never again. Okay. Let's see. Font. Dialogue font, that's what we're looking for. Nothing too... I don't want it to be like too sharp. Ooh, this is a really good UI pack. Looks fun. Oh well, anyways. I got a little distracted. So I did this. I thought this was pretty good for dialogue, but we're getting reports saying that this might be a little bit too thick. So look for something smaller. Let's see. Nope, it's too narrow. I want it still to be kind of like a little bit rounder. Match looks okay. It's soft. It's sans serif, I think. That's what you call it. One or the other. Araneo Mystery says, you've leaked your info? When did this happen? And what's the time code of the VOD it happened in? Hey, I blurred it already. Happened twice. Once I leaked my address, like full address, because I was showing my keyboard order. I had to blur that out. Second, I leaked my phone number and personal email address because it was on my resume and I was sharing my resume. Iwa says that's part of streaming, is it? How about this one? No, I mean, this part I'm not really sure about, but the little, like, fun one. Ent party, soul. Not really. More is something that I got already. Man. It's funny because, like, choosing a font feels like such a like significant thing to do, but it's like, I don't know, it's important, but it's not that important, right? Scramble egg looks pretty cool or cute and dialogue like, but it's too much character. It's got too much character. It needs to still feel somewhat neutral, I think. Iwa says, can't stream without doxing yourself. All the major streamers have also done it a couple of times. Yeah. It's hard not to do it, especially when you're just talking about everything. I don't know. Match feels pretty good. I think Match is a good candidate here. It seems like most of my choices are on some PX made font. All right. Micro chat? No, not quite. Voice too thick. Yeah, too bold. Absolute too bold. Too illegible. Yoke. Too serious. Iwa says, had anyone hit you up to grab beer with you from your leaked info? Not from my leaked info, but I've met with viewers before in the area. Just because I'm in the city. Sometimes people are like, I wanted to hang out and talk about games. And I also go to local indie game dev like groups and stuff like that every now and then for Godot, indie game dev stuff. Empire looks too serious. Vest? It has good potential. I feel like this might actually be better for narrative than the other one that I chose. We'll see. Ruler. Man, so many ideas. Smart's too bold. This has a good potential. Elegant and cozy. And it's 8 pixel. Which gives us a lot of room. This feels dialogue-y. Now, I guess the question is, how does it fit with the rest of the game? Vibe-wise? Like, is it distracting? The problem is that I can't tell until I buy it, so I'm going to have to buy it and bring it in here. Oh, there's a bundle. Look at this bundle. Oh, that's a lot. How much is a bundle? $50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Well, actually, I should count it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 48. Oh, it's $1 each? $50 for 50. Hey, Emo Pigs, long time no see. You're perfectly timed. Emo Pig says, how was your info leaked? I was talking about mechanical keyboard that I ordered, and I was trying to show that information. I couldn't remember, so I pulled up my order history, and then I opened the order page, and my address, my delivery address was in there. So that's one way I leaked it. A few days ago, or a few streams ago, somebody was like, hey, you know, something job. And I was like, oh, you want to see my resume? It's not that impressive, but I get jobs. So this is like a good reference of doing it. So I show my resume. But then the thing is, on the top of my resume, of course, it says my full name and my email address and phone number. As soon as it loads in, I'm like, oh, no. Luckily, my viewers are nice. And I had to go to my VOD and scrub all that, which was pain in the butt to find. So yeah, it happens every now and then. Hey, Pigs, since you haven't been here in a while, we have a wish list now. The game is obviously need more visual update. That's what we're going through. But in the pinned comment, we have a Steam page. So go wish list it if you haven't already. Appreciate it. Right now, we're going through some visual updates on this game right now. And part of that is choosing a font. So I'm trying to wear my designer hat, and I just got distracted by this font bundle. $50 for 50 is pretty good. I feel like this covers basically any font I would need for basically all prototypes, if Not most, right? Imopix is like, shake my head. Shake my head. Yeah. Zuzu says, you're so good at leaking your info. I know. I find ways to do it. Hey, thanks for the tier 1. Imopix says, have you
ever made your own font from handwriting?
Somebody was asking. I tried. So sometimes I do my own font when I'm making like titles or when I'm making like illustration. Because then you just need to make the font as like an overall picture. So it's more like a drawing a picture as opposed to doing a font design. But doing a font design itself, I have not done because it takes a while. It's very difficult. It's actually really hard to make a consistent style font, I noticed. I wonder if I get discounts if I already have some of these. I mean, I feel like it's still worth it. So I think I have, let's see. Definitely have Outflank. 1, 2. I think I might have Compass. I'm not sure. I have Urban. 3. Just bought Passage. 4, 5. I have Loser. Did I buy Corset? No. 4. Yeah, I have 4 of these. I'm not sure if it's worth it. Imopix says, okay, I'm doing chores. Gonna lurk in the background. Good luck picking the right font. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Good luck with your chores. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Downloads. We just have Passage here. I thought we picked something. What was it? I don't remember. Ah, Corset. We were about to buy Corset. KMX says, Ez, you gonna go to the Godot con again? No, it was too short of a notice for me. Unfortunately, I would love to go, but like just kind of financially planning, especially with my new job, it's a bit of a pain to figure that out right now. So I decided that I'm not going to do this year at least. Okay. You know what? I'm going to buy this because I feel like $50 is not that bad for all of this. At least I'll have it on me. And I'll make it a point. I'll make it a point to I'll make it a point to from now on use the fonts I own as opposed to looking for new ones every time. Let's see. I said I think I'm going to do Corset here. So I'm going to pull out the Corset. Then I'll download that. Okay, I think we're good with fonts here. Bup. Let's see. Downloads. Corset. TTF. And then we'll bring it over here. All right. We got that available. And then we're going to update our little conversational dialog box. Update this guy real quick. And I think, let's see what the designed intention of Corset here. Corset font. It says it is 12 and 14. In Asprite, use 16. Okay. It's an 8-pixel font, but suggested is 12 to 14 with disabled anti-aliasing. That's very specific. We don't need to oversample that one. We're gonna move this over. We're do 24. I don't think there's anything else we need to do here, right? Anti. Yeah, I don't think I have to do anything here. Hopefully, that looks just good. Let's take a look. Oh, you on site sharing some esports.gg. All Summer Game Fest 2026 announcement. I guess I should take a look. Hold on. I'll do that afterwards. Give me a second. It says, this is a quick summary of all the games announced. Okay, I'll take a look and try to get excited about some of them. Okay, so far so good. This title screen font I like. Very dungeony, very fantasy. We got the Crystal Kraken. Good, good, good. Did you notice that the river is running now? I made a lot of changes here. All right, this feels pretty good still. I actually like how this part looks. Little fragmented world. And then these, okay. Okay, fonts look good. It does feel like there's some anti-aliasing happening here, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think probably should use... Wait, but it's multiples of 8. So it should be fine. Why is that happening? I mean, I think it's okay, right? And of course, I think the choices should be passage. Mr. Magoo, hey. Mr. Magoo says, yo, yo, yo. Can't say gotta cover friends stream, but, can't stay. But fixing a random Russian dude's OS on GitHub. Oh, fun. Nice. Have fun fixing somebody's OS. Is this random Russian person the person who made the OS and you're trying to fix it? Okay. I feel like overall it feels okay right now. It doesn't feel too bad. Question, should we change the dialog box? Potentially. I'm looking. I don't know. It's not distracting enough for me to be like I got to do something about that, so I'm not gonna do anything about that one quite yet. All right. I think we're good here. If I had to change anything, this part right here is a little confusing. It's like it looks cool, but there's some visibility issue. So I'm wondering if the background color needs to be different. Or maybe I add Fog of War for this as well. But then the whole point of roguelike is that you get to see these things. But there being question mark maybe kind of defeats the purpose. So I don't know. Something I need to figure out. Let's see. Aranio Mitsuri says to Mr. Magoo, why do you do stuff like that? And Mr. Magoo says, anything to avoid my responsibilities. Valid. But yeah. Mr. Magoo says, yeah, I looked for beginners on GitHub needing help with OS and its website. Came across dude doing stuff while he sleeps and sending a pull request later. I see. That is fun. Aranim, gosh, so hard. Arneo Metsuri says, what's the red haze signify? It doesn't signify anything. It just happens to be the color of veil for things that are not uncovered. I mean, I could change that. I wonder where I changed it though. Oh, whatever. It's just this destruction right now. We'll see. It doesn't signify anything, but maybe it can. I'm just vibing out here. All right. Sorry, I keep playing that beginning part over and over again. I just need to... This is just kind of the part of the development where we have to figure out what's going on with the game. So it's just going to be how it is. All right. Do we really need to pixelate the rainbow part, you think? I feel like having a little bit of like high definition stuff mixed in with the pixel art style isn't too crazy, personally. But if we think that it is distracting, I'll try to convert that. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but it's whatever. Okay. And this is where the tutorial needs to start. So let's try to do the enable tutorial thing right after this. Explore mode, FTUE stuff. All the stuff that we were skipping, we're going to have to do now. Move neighbor, is it? Adjacent? Arneo says, you tell Dave to stream and I'll be there like a true believer. A true God wouldn't abandon his followers on a Saturday. What? Who are we talking about? I'm sorry, I don't know this person in general. Okay, let's see. Check and show, move count. That's a separate one. We'll probably do this one to false for now so we don't skip it. Let's see. Check and show, move, reset, move count. Whatever happened to the adjacent movement thing? Let's see. Mr. Magoo says, that's a good variable. Dave equals digital Iliad. Oh, I didn't know. It's so funny that I didn't know his real name, even though I saw him in person. I do like the game idea that he's working on. I mean, when it comes to deck builder, I'm like always excited. Oh, by the way, speaking of deck builder. Oh, shoot, I forgot. EO on site shared this. I need to go look at it. All right, everything that has been announced. Resident Evil, Mighty Cuphead Adventure. Oh, more Cuphead. I kind of want to see it though to be excited. Like I'm like a visual person when it comes to like game trailers. Oh, this one feels like a pixel art version of the game. Okay, interesting. Alien Isolation 2. That's a hard one to follow, I'm sure. I don't know what this is. Oh, this looks kind of cool. It reminds me of High Def Sekiro. Hold on. Let's see. Can I see the... Yeah. Okay. Dead by Daylight, I don't care. Assassin's Creed, I don't care. Gundam Rogue Orbit. Interesting name. Guild War. Among Us? What? Among Us TV show? That is so funny. What is this one? Hold on. Interesting. It's narrative adventure of Among Us. Interesting. Okay, I could see the appeal. It's not very recognizable because it's such a different art style. Swords of Legend. Miyazaki says, Guild War 3, finally! It was a detective game in the Among Us universe, I see. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Alien Isolation 2, such a bad time to have those initials. Yeah, AI too. Yeah. Mikori says when usernames transcend actual names. Yeah, exactly. Iliad is Iliad. I don't know. I don't know who Dave is. Baka says for the rainbow effect, is it easy to make some tests with the not so rainbow color? Maybe a bit more subtle. It's not terribly difficult, but it means I have to go and actually understand the shader code a little more. I can blend it more. I mean, I thought it was okay. Is it too much? Does it feel cheap? Okay. I guess I shall consider it then. Miyazaki says it was detected. Yeah, I saw that at least from the trailer. Arnia says Among Us was some flash in a pan. I had kids playing that on their phone during my class, which I never understood because I feel like you need comms for that game. Yeah, I mean the whole fun is playing with your friends. I never understood Among Us like playing with the random people. Okay, this is just. I mean, this is my problem with the games today. So many soul like, and this is definitely like. There's no way this is not a soul like, right? This is just Wukong or Black Myth Wukong, whatever. That's what it feels like. This is how I felt about last game announcement series. Sonic Racing, we saw that already. Attack on Titan. Don't care. Chronicle Medieval. This looks interesting. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Oh, it's like a total war. Is it a total war? It is a total war. Is it by Total War people? It's not. It's just inspired. Okay. Interesting. We already saw Stellar Blade already. The Wolf Among Us 2. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Revelation. That's just remake, right? Okay. I mean, maybe some. Wuthering Waves. What is this one? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Aeon 2. Baka says feels a bit like 70s show crashing on the background. I see. World looks beautiful. Kind of feels like some like Chinese version of Final Fantasy. That's what it's feeling like aesthetically speaking. Is it turn-based or is it action RPG? It's action RPG. Is it just action RPG or is it another boss fighter? I mean, it seems like there's some mobs. I'm not really sure. Not excited about action RPGs, honestly. Oh. Saw game. A horror genre. Okay, this I can't do without this. I'm not very excited about that. Soul Frame, that sounds familiar. Voices horror, yeah. Oh, hey Kane. Kane says, I'm currently playing Gothic 1 Remake. It looks so good. Gothic 1? I don't even know what that is. Alright, this is another action RPG, I'm guessing. Unless it's like, if it plays like MMORPG instead of action RPG, then I would love it. I mean, action RPG is okay as long as it's not soul-like. Soul-like is okay, but I'm kind of tired of having to like... I don't know. There's something about... Something tiring about soul-like games. Witcher-like? Okay. Cool. Warframe people. Okay. I know a friend who will enjoy that. Hey, thanks for the sub, yeah. Or follow, Blue Basher. Welcome, welcome. Virtua Fighter Crossroads. Is that like the original Virtual Fighter? No. Is it unrelated? Remember the very original 3D fighting game called Virtual Fighter? I remember those. I don't know what this is. This just looks like a... Wait, is this MMO? It would be cool if it's MMO. No. It's giving like a fist fighting GTA. UE5 engine soul like games overdose, yeah. I'm tired of him. Zuzu says Soul Frame is not a soul like. Yeah. We've concluded that, I think. Thanks for letting me know. First person shooter ish. Little horror. It's eldritch horror type of sitch. Zombie? Zombie apocalypse. Okay. Zombie apocalypse. All right. That's unique enough. I don't know. I get tired of all these like games with such high stakes. You know what I mean? I know you need high stakes story-wise in order to be exciting, but like, I don't know. Okay, this is funny. This could be interesting. Seems like it's another co-op game, potentially. Yeah, co-op physics game. Could be fun. Unfortunately, I don't have friends to play that with. All right. Cool. Cool announcements. Looking forward to it. Kane says, "Do you never play? Have you never played Gothic? I would really suggest Gothic 1 Remake. It's like classic RPG game, one of the best back in the days. Is it? Here, Gothic 1 Remake. It looks fun. It looks interesting. It does look like a pretty traditional RPG type of situation. I'll try it out. Looks interesting. If you say so, if you say it's good. Is it still action instead of strategy? I'm guessing. Classic RPG. Classic RPG with action combat, right? Yeah. Seems like it. Could be fun. Benutrace, or am I saying that right? Benutrici says, "Hey, Impossible Creature is pretty fun." Impossible Creature? What is that one? Impossible Creature. Oh. Oh, it's an old game. It looks old, at least. It's okay if it's just intentionally this way. It looks kind of like Warcraft. Like a RTS game. Is it an RTS game? It feels like it. RTS game with like where you can create new creatures. Could be fun. Okay, I need to make it so that these like tutorial messaging don't happen until this initial dialogue has gone through. So let's see. That one. Benu says, yeah, it's RTS. I see. I do enjoy RTS. I grew up playing StarCraft and Warcraft, so Red Alert, Yuri's Revenge, all of the good times. Well, Yuri's Revenge was Red Alert 2. Tiberian Sun was actually low-key pretty good. I don't know what happened to the genre of Command and Conquer. Just didn't stick around. People don't have the patience for that kind of game anymore, I think. All right, so let's do the explore mode. The FTUE of being like, hey, go take a look at the neighboring stuff. Okay, so we did that. Parchment is invisible right now. I guess I could turn on the parchment real quick. Additionally, on start, Void says, by the way, as I finally ordered broadband/fiber, it'll be installed by Thursday. Woo! Congrats! No more running out of data. That's a good plus. Bender says, you play the original Zoo Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon 2. Have I? I have never played Zoo Tycoon before, no. I think during those period of my life, I did play Roller Coaster Tycoon quite a bit. And then, not quite Tycoon, but there used to be a genre of like, where it's strategy game, but it's like a city sim, except there's stuff like mythology, Rome, Cleopatra, all these like genre of like almost like sim game, except you play a like governor or something like that. I play those, but no, I haven't played Zoo Tycoon before. I'm guessing it's relevant to the reference to the game. Bonin says, are you into games like Nova Roma? Let's take a look. Nova. Ooh, wait. Yeah. This is the type of game that I used to play back in the day. It looks like it's modernized version of like the old school. I don't know if you remember a game called Caesar the Game. Like it's like one of these. Oh, this was so fun. And I didn't quite understand it because, you know, obviously I was young. But oh my goodness. This has like the feeling of that SimCity type of thing plus like actual army. Like cuz sometimes like if you don't pay your taxes, the Roman government will send army and you get to like fight them off. Bonin says, look at the tech they put in Nova Roma. What do you mean, look at the tech? Can you link me the thing I should look at? Okay, let me just make sure I pause the FTUE. Check and show FTUE move, right? I'm doing this. And then I was trying to do this. I think if is paused, we're going to await on unpaused. Which I guess there's no signal for it, but I'm going to try to figure this out. Because some of these things I don't want to have to figure out triggering it later, but I want to, you know, trigger it whenever I need to. Okay. So on the first explore mode, we are starting a dialogue, which does warden here. And then when the dialogue gets started, game control, we're saying request dialogue here. When the dialogue starts, I think we're going to try to pause the game here. I guess that should be, whose signal should it be? I don't know if we have a signal bus for that, but game stat. I guess it is game control, so maybe I should have signal bus here. So let's do a signal bus where we go signal pause, signal unpause, or we could say game update pause, and then game update unpause. And basically, this is going to be a little messy, but I think we can do it still. We're going to request the pause here. When the dialogue ends, specifically, when the dialogue closes, end dialogue, where is it? Exit. Then we do closed emit here. when we close the dialogue, whoever is listening to it, I'll handle that. Close get submitted. Is anybody really listening to the dialogue panels close? Maybe not. Let me take a look. I guess not. I'll just directly admit that. So, oh, this might be a little messy, but I guess I could do on close, maybe. I'll do that. I'll connect it to myself. We'll make it so that game control, game update, unpause, get submitted. Mr. Mugu says, I submitted the pull request. Oh, congrats. Congrats on doing work for others. That's what we live for. Okay. So a few things I need to do. When it is update pause, I do think that the explore mode should listen to that and pause themselves as well. Which I guess. I don't really know who does this. Who controls this? Cleanup becomes true, yeah. We're pausing it on true. This could get messy, but we'll see. We'll see. So on ready, if there is one, we don't have it. We'll put that over here. Oop, what the heck? Funk ready. We'll do game control, game update on pause, connected to on game on pause. Well, actually, yeah. And then we'll say game control, game. I'm gonna get lost so badly so soon. I just know that, see, the problem for me right now, which, I mean, it's my bad. It is my fault. It's 100% my fault. But the problem I'm running into right now that I know that I will run into is that, you know, these functions I'm adding them as I need them, right? Because I'm like, oh, I need this right now, so I'm going to do it. And this is going to be the standard exercise or standard practice of how I'm going to do this. Somewhere down the road, because there's so much code, and I'm not really like following a guidance. Like, I'm not following my own design. I'm following just intuition and whatever. That I know I know for a fact that there will come a case where I am re-implementing things over and over again. Every time I need a new, you know, ability to do something, I'm going to forget that I've already done something. And it's going to keep going. Mr. Magoo says, anything to avoid my OS. Haha. Wish I got this support as a beginner, so good karma. IG. Yeah. I guess, yeah. Arnio says, the universe will send you cheesecake, I'm sure. Yes, exactly. There will be cheesecake in your future. Kane says, I haven't had Command and Conquer on PlayStation 1. Wait, is that not what you said? CC on PlayStation 1. It was so good. But on PC it was best, yeah. I really haven't played on console until like my adulthood. I mean, mostly I played on NES. It was, for me, growing up, was mostly NES plus computer. That was it. So, I was very much jealous of people who had game consoles growing up. Mr. Mugu says, please send me cheesecake. I've been good OS dev. Yes, it does stand for something. I see. Wait. It worked? Heck yes. Okay. This might be a good time to implement that other thing where when the dialogue request happens, we do the game update pause thing. We should probably also react to that so that the kind of like the journey request doesn't happen. So we'll say unpause, we do that. Okay. Hopefully that means that just works. If I've already put in the gating, because I had a bug where in the middle of dialogue, if I choose to go to the adjacent node, it would let me, even though it shouldn't, right? I mean, that's the state control thing, but, you know, pause is a state, so technically. So we'll see. Oh, man. I have to say, guys, my stamina for streaming definitely is being impacted. I'm already feeling a little doozy. It's okay. We got this. We're getting through it. No chat here. We're just focusing. Okay, he says, where's the emitter? Is it like a service or repo layer, or where does it live? I have no clue about Godot. The emitter you can put anywhere. So right now I have a global controls, I call it, which is basically static classes that has functions and signals, which is the event, right? Okay, that should not have happened. But hold on. I'm thinking. Pause is separate from control take. Right. So on explore exit. Well, so as I was saying, the static classes have global control controlling different things. I have a VFX controller, I have game controller, which holds game states and all these other things. But in addition, you can use those as a signal bus, right? So hold on. So first of all, when paused, no, Void. Void says, smile. A good way to boost your stamina is by, of course, deep squat. All right, thanks for redeeming 12 deep squats. For those of you who's just joining us and unfamiliar. When somebody redeems squats, we all do squats, not just me. 12 squats coming right up. Ugh. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we go. 12 squats. Solid. Wouldn't you say? I think so. Whew. Redemption. Redeeming. Voice says, what? Redemption cooldown? Yes, of course. I'm not going to do back-to-back squats just because people redeem it. I'm seeing a replay of me squatting. Why is my head down so much? I should probably keep it up next time. Okay. Kane says, so it's basically a static single to more or less. Yes, it is. It is. Woo! Hi, Emo. Bonin says, so what do you think of the tech? Which tech? Which tech are we talking about? Oh my gosh. Hopefully y'all did your squats. I mean, it's definitely getting me waking up a little bit. I don't know. Ugh. I guess at least it helped with stamina a little bit. Bonin says, you asked me to link it. I said, oh, you did? Okay, sorry. I didn't see it. What is the question here? First sent or second video? I see. What do I think about the tech? I see. Look at the tech they put in Nova Roma. First and second video, okay. What's the tech you're talking about, though? I mean, it looks fun. It's very much typical of the game genre that it's like a city sim with a little bit of additional funness. It does remind me a lot of the Caesar the game. Looks fun. Aqueducts. Yeah, it's very much nostalgic. Oh, you can build. Oh, that's really cool. I do think that like this all like the terrain modification tech is very interesting for sure. I bet it's really hard to implement too. Oh, bye, Mr. Magoo. Good night. Ooh, and then the war. Dude, this looks just like Caesar. The game, except just modernized. I might actually play this. Looks fun. It's their first game. Oh, I guess that's their... Okay, interesting. Early access. Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, I don't know what I think about it, but it seems very familiar yet new and exciting. That's what I think. Bonin says, really addicting chill game. Yeah. I always go for like the army stuff just because I want to see how much I can push. Like, because the whole thing is like, oh, how do you gather resources and how do you build, you know, strong army and stuff like that. I'll try it out. I might have to try that out today, maybe. All right. I was saying that the travel request, right? The move to POI request happens on player travel requested. If it is paused, we don't do anything, which means during the dialogue, I shouldn't be able to move at all. So that's okay. But I'm unpausing for the tutorial, which is if it's paused. Right there. The problem is that I think I want to pause it for the tutorial thing, unfortunately. So it's little counterintuitive. Is input allowed? So this needs to be false for this part. So we're going to say, for this particular part, we're going to say input is not allowed until we get to the end where we dolly, we show the control, we highlight it, and we show the text messages. And then we're turning the input back on. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Hey, XFC. Wow, 3-stream streak. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being an avid viewer. Bonin says, it has a demo available if you want to try it. I mean, how long is a demo? I mean, I definitely want to try it out, but I want it to be more than just like a brief gameplay. Boop says, Crash Bandicoot Jam. Crash Bandicoot Jam? What? Oh, was the crystal same? I'm not familiar with Crash Bandicoot. Why am I keep saying it that way? Crash Bandicoot. It feels wrong. What something about what I'm saying feels extremely wrong. Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot. What am I saying? Bandicoot. It feels wrong. The coot sounds wrong to me for some reason. You know, sometimes you have those moments where you're like the words just don't sound right out of your mouth. Bandicoot? Bandicoot? Bandy. Boop got censored because Boop said bandicoot. Yeah, I don't know. Something about that. I mean, I know it's bandicoot, but it feels wrong. Boop says, Lamau, me getting automated is hilarious. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Bobby. Bandy Namco. Yeah, exactly. Bandicut? Is it Crash Bandicut? I don't know, dude. Okay, so it won't let me move. That's good. Take provision. Okay. So it wasn't supposed to let me move while it was showing me the tutorial message. So let's see. Let's go back there. Input is not allowed until message completely fades. Right? Say you can move by clicking on the location next door, blah, 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 it becomes visible. So when input is not allowed, oh my gosh, I feel like my pronunciation is suffering today. Like something feels like I'm stumbling around my tongue a lot. Okay, if it is paused or input is not allowed, we don't let it travel. Right? So, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out a little bit. Boop says, what? You got to go play. Play now? I can't do that. Oh, yeah. I'll probably get the early access and try to play it. I'll play it on my Steam Deck. Is this Steam Deck compatible? Because I don't want to sit on my desk all day. XFC says, I don't see the demo option on the Steam page. Huh. Maybe they got rid of it for the early access. Boop says, there was a few of the newer ones that I trailed off on, but definitely played 1 to 4 and Racing 1. Not sure what we're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the Studios game. I see. Okay. Okay. Ah, shoot. I was supposed to do a... I was supposed to do a little... what do you call? What was it? Jeez. I was supposed to put a breakpoint, but I forgot and I just kept going. This text font definitely needs to update, so let's do that first too. Our FTUE, move messaging. This one is not going to be title. I think we might actually get other label. Maybe description. Yeah, because it's more like system. Yeah, okay, so we do that. And then in addition to that, I gotta make it so that, I mean, this should just work. So, oh, it didn't come here, huh? It figured that input is not allowed. It comes over here. It's no longer paused. Yes, so that's okay. This will become false. It's waiting on things. Does something trigger this to be true somewhere? Becomes true only at the end here. Maybe I'll do one of these things. Let's try that again. Sorry. XFC says, you speak English very good. You have to see me trying to speak English. I look like I'm dying drowning. You know, I go back and forth. And sometimes, you know what? Another thing is that when I put my earpiece on, it's harder for me to pronounce things, especially if I don't have the monitor on where I can't hear myself. So I think this must be some sort of brain deterioration. Like that I actually have to be able to hear myself in order for me to pronounce things correctly. You know? Like that should be second nature by now. Like I've already learned how to pronounce things and how my mouth makes sounds. I shouldn't have to hear myself, but alas, here I am. Bonus says, Developer Ezra, how will you implement secrets in your game? Well, I mean, I can hear myself, but it's like very muffled. Also, my in-ear is very much like, it's very well sealed. So what I hear is I hear it through my skull, you know? But what do you mean by secrets? So like secret information or like a secrets within the map? Like I want to make it so that like every nodes or some of the nodes, like here's the thing. I hate secrets that have no hints, right? Like within the game itself, if there are secrets where you just get lucky to find out, I don't like that. So I need to figure out some ways to indicate there is something. So this is something that I haven't shared before. One of the updates I wanted to do is give the player a detector, like a little radar thing, so that in the Fog of War, depending on what kind of upgrade you have on the radar, you can do a detection of how many hazards are adjacent to your current nodes and how many like items are connected to your current nodes kind of thing. So it's like a little bit of like a minesweeper type of game. So I think there is a potential indicator for, oh, there's a hidden path here that you could try to access if you see more connection information on the thing, you know? XFC says, I don't know what's happening. Discord is doing prank on me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what? XFC says, I'm getting angry. I don't know why, but after some time, I just get notification every second. Weird. That's not me. You're not hearing my sound effects. Okay. Oh, wait. What? It didn't come here at all. Oh, we're on the wrong FTUE. We are interested in this one. It's input allowed. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. How many times are we going to go through the beginning? I don't know. Yeah, sorry you're getting annoyed by your Discord. Master says, yeah, it happens to me too. Yeah, well, especially if you have a lot of channels now. I have so many channels that I'm part of that sometimes I'm like, I hear the notification, but I don't know where it is. Like, I don't know where it's coming from, which channel it's coming from. Or maybe it is that same bug. Maybe Discord is pranking me. That's a possibility. Oh my gosh. It's such a long process, this. Bonus says, just mute all notification, no more fake notification. Solved. Exactly. Very skillful, very skillful. So it is already paused. And then we're going to come over here. And it comes over here. Input is indeed paused. And that means it shouldn't be allowed yet. Yet it is allowed. And then now it hits. So something is happening here where this like travel requested control is not quite working. This part is not triggering for some reason. On travel requested. Ah. Well, I mean, this one has this too. So it is exiting early, no? I feel like it should. false means true. This is false. This is true. It's going to return. Yeah, I don't know. Something funky is happening for sure. Arnio says, I mute every Discord channel I ever go on. Never ever need to hear a noise when there's a message for anything ever, even if it's for me personally. Yeah. Notification, sound notification is unnecessary, honestly, unless it's like a friend, like a DM. DM I care about listening and responding, because like there are a lot of like business DMs I need to figure out. I need to be responsible for, especially as a content creator. You know, obviously I want to be able to hear when anybody who is personally reaching out has some questions or whatever. But yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so it is input is not allowed. Okay. It's coming here. It's not allowed. It's allowed. It's true. Somebody set it to true. Who did that? Did it not wait on this? There's a possibility. Interesting. Somebody is flipping them on. Something funky is happening. XFC says, average programmer, look at code, look at phone for 2 hours, get back to coding, look at screen for 1 minute, go to sleep because I was doing nothing all day. I repeat, this guy is not me, ignore. Yeah. No, it's not you. It's not you. It's anybody else but you, right? Just typical developers. Tisk. Locked in. Look, I'm already feeling so tired right now. I just want to go out and walk around. Hey, Cooley. Cooley says, what is this? What is what? We're doing what we're doing. Okay. So far, so good, I think. It hasn't hit this. I gotta look at all the things that are assigning this to true, to make sure none of them are setting it to true here. Is there... Maybe I could do this. So I can track when this is being set. Cooley says, read the message above. Huh? I'm celebrating my 6 months mod anniversary. Wow, Cooley, you have been a mod for me for 6 months. Long time. Dedicated modder out here. I appreciate it. Appreciate your help, bruh. Oh, man. Ugh. Gosh. Guys, I'm barely hanging on right now. It's only been 1 hour and 30 minutes. I don't know what's going on. To think that I was streaming for like hours for 4 days in a row just 2 weeks ago. Man. All right. Somebody's triggering this right here at the start, making it false. Acceptable. Somebody else is triggering it to be false, which is move to POI, because we are instantly moving it. Oh, I know what's going on. And then we set this to false, which came from that right there. And then we come here. XFC says, again. Yeah. Boops Comp says, no portfolio site? For me? No. I don't really have portfolio site. I mean, you can go check out my itch if you're interested in that. Or you can go look at my YouTube. Do I have an itch link? Itch. Oh, I do. YouTube. Or I guess LinkedIn if you really care about it. I don't have a portfolio because my game dev career is fairly short. I mean, I've been doing it as long as I have been doing content making, which is 3 years, maybe a little more. Before that, I was working as a software engineer at a big tech companies. I was a shill for the big tech companies, aka Amazon and Google, for a while. And now I'm back at working again, unfortunately, because I gotta pay the bills. But yeah. Anyways, I mean that's as far as portfolio goes. The Ginger says, "My dude, hey Ginger, welcome, welcome." Hello, hello. Boop says, "Mate, you would be moving from junior to senior in that time in SWE, hopefully." In 3, yeah, of course. I'll tell you that my desire to not work at those companies, which I am now, is not because, like my career path or the pay is bad. It's because I'd rather be doing this if I could, obviously. But here we are. Okay. So player control, camera control is off. Fair. Okay. Why is it already hitting this? Where is this one? Process, explore, arrival. When did this happen? Why did it happen? We did interaction. Yeah. Oh, because we arrived. Okay. We arrived. So first thing that, okay, I think I get it. So first thing that happens is we arrive at a node and then we're talking to the NPC, which is we're processing our arrival. And then we are re-enabling the input because everything is finished. And before anything happens, I'm trying to re-trigger the FTUE messaging thing, which has been waiting. So I think what I need to do is probably move the FTUE click adjacency to move to at the end of this instead of the start menu, or instead of the start function. So I'll move that here. Let's see. Leginger says, I became free. No more shitty jobs and rubbish client work. Well, Leginger got free because Leginger were able to recently publish a very successful game. Very first game that he published in his career has become very successful. So it's congrats for sure. But I'll have you know, be careful. It goes quick. It goes quick. I've done this full time 3 to whatever years, not because I was just gritting through. I was using something that I already had. But I'm sure we can be smart about that. XFC says, my energy through the day. Talk to my family for 1 minute, 1%, sleep and mold in bed, repeat after 2 to 3 days. Sometimes that's all you need to do and all you can do. Boop says, I'm in the same boat except the pay is bad. Never go non-profit dev kids. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way things are in the real world. I guess so. Sometimes there's more important things than pay. Oh, by the way, thanks for the follow. Egg avocado toast. Why did I say it like that? Egg avocado toast. Bobby Hill says, you'd rather be doing this? I'm curious. Between solo dev and your employment, which has the harder technical work? Harder. Okay, so I wouldn't say harder. I don't think that's a fair comparison to make. Because it sometimes there are hard things to do in both thing. I think more interesting technical work for me happens in game dev, or when researching game dev, as opposed to doing what my typical thing is. I mean, there are a lot of things you can learn. There are a lot of things that are interesting, and that's the only reason that I still enjoy working. But every task, every job, or every role that you end up doing has a side effect, the side task you need to do, which is if you're working in a company or if you're working for corporate, you have to play the corporate, which is the game of work, social, work, career thing. Sorry, I'm looking because my cat's trying to come in, but it's stuck. So that indie game or like entrepreneurship, the side thing that you do outside of technical thing is business running, some of the creative things, right? Because some people don't like doing the creative part, they just wanted to do the technical part. All those things, right? So it's like the balance of like, which one do you prefer more? And for me personally, I like the other one. Oh, Peach did come in. Hi, big fatty. Come here. Wah! Here it is, Peach. This one doesn't purr as much. Leginger says, "Oh, thanks for the follow, Drip Advisor." Dang, I need that. Leginger says, "Yep, opening." Ah, jeez. All right, get out of here, Peach. What are we saying? Hold on. Yep, opening a company, and this year, estimated for me to net 150K, and I've had 40 of that already. The rest of the money is going to my company. I'm incorporating over the next few days. And that's exciting. Yeah, I'm hoping to get there soon. The exciting thing about entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to like software or like tech work, is that matter of going from not having anything successful to being extremely successful is overnight. And that's the only thing that gets you going, right? It's like, it is rare, and sometimes a lot of the cases are either complete failure or like gradual growth. And there's benefit in both. There's like strategy to run both. But in theory, you have the ability to, or like you have the chance of like having that kind of like catching that break suddenly. So that's what we're looking at, aren't we? Okay. Let's see. I was gonna move that first time user experience tutorial to somewhere in the beginning here. Drip says, been starting my first serious Bevy project. I don't know what Bevy means. Beverage? Only like 200 lines. I was like, Bevy? Only like 200 lines in, and I already feel like I might need a refactor. I mean, you're going to fight that out all the time. The thing that I learned about getting that product out there in the first place, do your best to plan out like the most consistent thing you can do in the beginning. And unless it is really hindering you, like for example, like, man, adding this new feature is like 3 additional day every time I try to do it. Like for example, if I'm like making a deck builder, I'm trying to come up with a new card mechanic. And every time I come up with a new card mechanic, I have to spend like a week to add it. Then maybe there is an opportunity for refactoring to make that easier. But if it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of tedious, but then it's like 2 hours or like 2 days, I wouldn't worry about that. You know what I mean? Bivy is a game engine written in Rust. Oh, I see. Well, thanks for letting me know. I got educated here. Let's see. Leginger said, I had €16 in my bank account on release day. Absolutely miserable mindset. Honestly, that sounds awful. Yeah. It's like, okay, here it is, literally to the bottom of the bowl. What's funny is that the timing of my whatever, I'm not going to go too into it, but basically, obviously I had a lot of savings and then I was working off of that. And then, it was slowly going down. And then, I had to release something eventually, but then I wasn't there. I didn't want to release crap. And then I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get a job. And then the moment that I got the job was moment that everything was like, I mean, I exaggerate because even if I say I'm like emptied out, I'm not really emptied out. But like it kind of coincided that way. So, life has ways of resolving itself sometimes if you try. Boop says, yep. And my tendency in that corporate space was to people please, and that bubble's bursting for me now. Haven't learned how to play the game healthily, so I went out. Yeah. I mean, we feel that way. We don't want to be too. If you're a people pleaser, it's really bad, but also, it's the balance. The balance is hard. Boop says, I don't know what STG means. Rust devs just enjoy pain or something. I seriously think, or I don't know. Drip says, wrestling the borrow checker as we speak. I see. Well, I hope that you find your solution. Sorry, Nev. I saw your chat, but I was kind of falling behind with reading everything. Let's see. Nev says, thoughts on using Codex or Claude to code out a game using prompts, but then doing all the artwork yourself. I mean, if you can find yourself in that situation where you can do that cost effectively, go ahead. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I do warn against people when people ask me directly. The thing is, Leginger Dev, who's another streamer, content maker, developer, who just said they had a really successful game. They just released the game and they made 150K plus whatever. Successful. And they vibed it whole through. They use AI and they did the artwork, but then like they use AI to code everything. And they found success. And so that's like the proof of like, oh yeah, you can do that. There's nothing stopping you from being successful by doing that. Leginger says all the art was custom made and paid for. Yeah. If you can find ways to do that, that's fine. I personally like to warn people who wants to get into this to, like, if your focus is just making the product, then I guess it doesn't matter. But if your focus is like longevity of like being able to do this without depending on the cost fluctuation or like the technical dependency on other products like that, I would say you would still want to do everything you can to educate yourself, because it's just risk management, right? You can be successful and get away with not doing that, but it does prep you if things go awry in the middle of it. Kind of like, whatever. We don't have to get into that. So like, if anything, right now is the best time to do it because right now tokens are as cheap as it will ever be. I don't think it'll ever be cheaper going forward. So, but I would caution people in just planning as if that's going to be the case forever. Drip says, I code like 3/4 of my code and use AI if I run into wall. Okay, yeah. That's my thought. I personally don't use it because, well, I use it, but I don't use it. So I was first forced into using it because, obviously I went back to work and work is now all AI. And, I got used to using it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. So I tried it out and I was like, didn't quite work out. I tried it out for like a lot of excitement. I did it and I was like, okay, well, tokens are running out fast. So I did the highest available thing. And then it just renewed this month. And I was like, I don't need 10,000 tokens. So, and then $200 seems really expensive for me to pay monthly for something that I feel like is not $200 worth of work in the way that I use it. So I canceled it. And the thing is, I'm not the moral of the story isn't do this or do that. Moral of the story is that I had a choice to do that because I know I can do that versus being like, oh my God, my product is completely gone. If I can't pay for this, that's a different feeling, right? I think so. Bobby says, Nev, if you aren't a programmer, you will be happy the first week or two, and then it'll just get to be too much for any model to really work well. Nev says, yeah, not a programmer. So far, I'm having fun with it, though. I'm surprised by how good it is. Yeah, having fun is good, and it is pretty good. I would say take right now as an opportunity to question and ask to learn. If you care about extending that beyond just that. Bobby says, if you want to use AI for learning, you should study philosophical ideas on the nature of reality and meaning making, because AI is very good at constructing falsehoods, learn by picking apart. Yeah. I feel like that's like a basic, if you are at a college level thinking of like doubting information, I think you're pretty solid on that, but you know, who knows? People are falling into all kinds of psychosis these days. Let's see. Boop says, you're not into having local inference as a future alternative to using API credits. I'm hopeful there, but maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't know yet. Look, you might be right. People may be correct. But once again, it's all speculation, right? There's no open book out there to guarantee us what the situation is right now. Well, without saying too much, I have some vision on what it looks like, right? But so far, what is publicly available, and even some like non-public available information, I'm not so sure. But once again, that's still a guess, and things can change overnight, so who knows? But I'm not going to bet my future on who knows. So Leginger says, currently my next game is a multiplayer network game over Steam. 10,000% vibe coded so far. All are custom. Hey, look, you found the way that works with that, so that's great. I use it for like some of the shader scaffolding, test writing, or like re-architecting based on the test. So for example, if I have this, I made a test framework for Godot, GDScript. So if I'm like, okay, I want to change this so that this other frame is what I'm going to use, but I don't want to have to like worry about if everything is still working the way it is. I might use AI to be like, well, use this test framework, make sure you cover all these cases. And then I look through the test cases in like a big picture wise to see if it covers all the corner cases. That way, when the refactor happens, I can be like, it's steady. And that work would have been a week or weeks of work. And that's pretty effective. And, you know, everybody uses it differently. Arnio says, that's kind of what a friend of mine said about AI-assisted coding. Tokens are as cheap as they are ever going to be, and I don't know how they will make AI profitable once the price needs to go up. And their only way to fund it currently has been investment and future promising. That's one. And then the second is corporate signing. But that still is assuming, right? The big corporate signing. This is like the really confusing part. So let's say companies like Meta, Google, Amazon, whatever, all of the above, they might benefit from having a big AI contract with some of these places because all their engineers are using it. And they may say, engineers have improved their output due to the benefit by this much, and they have to quantify it, right? There's a number where they have to go, well, based on that, we're willing to pay this much. That needs to match up. And that what they're willing to pay needs to be greater than how much it is to operate the system for the AI, Anthropic to be like, okay, we're going to keep going. Few things that is dependent on, that the AI tech is dependent on, I think, is power efficiency, right? The cost of power, cost of facility, and then like cost of like cooling and all those, like those things are huge, right? Because they not only aren't they, so there's this thing, the whole bunch of data center thing is happening right now, right? When cloud first came up, bunch of data center popped up, and that was kind of profitable because from the get-go, cloud computing was profitable. Well, give or take. AI tech right now, most of the analysts are saying that it's far from breaking even, and they're losing millions of dollars per token, whatever. Maybe per token is exaggeration. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't see, like, only thing is like the cooling needs to be better, efficiency needs to be better, longevity of the chips, which is another thing, right? Because if you've been following graphic card market and memory market because you love gaming and you've been upgrading your computer, you know the power intake for these cards and memory and the kind of heating management you need to do has been significantly larger than it used to be back when, I don't know, when 1080 first came out. That was like the most exciting, efficient type of like bump. After that, it's been pretty downhill. It's just like they're adding more. Obviously, it's gonna be faster, but doesn't mean it's like efficient or manageable. So I don't know. And that means there's a hardware decline rate that's really quick. So how are they going to manage that? 6 years down the line, if all their chips go out of whatever kaput, you got to replace them. And obviously that's good for quote unquote Nvidia, right? Because Nvidia could be like, oh, your chips broke down, you can buy the new versions of it. All right. But that means that's part of the upkeep cost of running AI. And then now all of a sudden the math adds up, being like, oh shoot, we used to have chips for 20 years, but now it's 6 years. What does that mean for our usage? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the real numbers are. Sorry, I'm super distracted right now. I haven't written a single code right now for like past 30 minutes, I think. This is a perfect place to, I guess, make the AI work. I don't know. All right, let's see. Bobby says, if you want to use AI for learning, no, we saw that. Nev says the pipe dream is to create a few successful game, hopefully, and use that money to start a studio and employ a small team. A lot of ideas. Yeah, honestly, as I said, if you're gonna do it now while it's cheap. Leginger, I don't know what the Leginger dev's background is. I would say you can vibe things better if you already have some technical knowledge. I feel like me 100% vibe coding a game versus somebody who's never done game dev vibe coding will be completely different experience. So I can't speak to that. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Boop says, I was telling Cursor to make actual visual of something and not mock up, and this MF says thinking. User complains about. That's kind of funny. Legend says, I use I don't know what that is. Claude Windows application, the Claude code part of it. I don't do Cursor or Codex or anything else, just Claude. Yeah, I never felt the need to do anything other. At work I use Kiro, which by the way is Claude wrapper. And I've been using personally Kira, and even that is enough for me for what I do. Leginger says, and if you prep projects properly, you'll end up having a way better time making Claude document to line things up properly. Much better. Yeah, exactly. See, guiding, steering. I mean, that's the most efficient thing to do. But obviously, Leginger, I mean, when people are talking about, when they're coming into my chat and asking about these things, they're not obviously asking like, oh, if I do all these, like, what's the best way to do it? Is like they come from the angle of like, I have no idea at all. It's my first time. So I think we do need to be kind of weary of that. Voice says, indeed. Boop says, true. Drip Advisor says, last time I used my gaming rig like a year ago, everything ran fine, and I'm still on 2070 and Ryzen. Yeah, I'm on 20 something and I'm fine. Boop says, lol, we got super chatty, distracting. Yeah, and that's okay. It's okay. As long as, I mean, I think I do lose viewers sometimes if I chat too much because people are here to work and I'm not letting them. But, it's okay. It's part of the experience. Cam Bump says, did you try DeepSeek? What you think of? I never tried it before. I have no idea. When it comes to having used a variety of AI tooling, I lack that experience completely. So only context I have about the opinion on AI and coding is via work and through guesses of economy and how companies work in general. That's all I have. Voice says China is now producing more graphic cards. I mean, they have to. There needs to be a better competitor because it's way too expensive. Arneo says he's trying to code. Ask more questions. No, I'm trying. All right, hold on. All right, so we're gonna say the check and show FTU move thing. We'll drop here. We're gonna do NPC control, and then arrival, process explore arrival. Once that is done, before giving the control to the player, we're gonna do the first time move check here real quick. Okay, and it won't be paused because we don't have to do that anymore. So we'll be in a good spot here. Let's try that out. So this should fix, I think, everything that we were struggling through. Thanks for the follow, Fox War. Welcome. Well, going through it. Okay, so here's another thing, by the way. I don't know if this is, so, you know, there are a lot of us who have used AI. One thing that I am like adamant about not using AI for when it comes to like helping me program or make games, to me, they're really bad at making visuals. Like anything that's like, I don't know, like it's like if you have something that's like specific to a certain visual that you're imagining, it's really hard to get it to do that correctly. Okay. Okay, hold on. It didn't wait. What the heck? Hold on. Hold on. All right. Let's think. It handled a thing. Or arrival. Does this. It comes over here. Input allowed here. Camera player control will become true. We're waiting on showing the movement here. We're gonna await on travel being started. Player control. I think this should do it. I don't know why it's not doing it if it's not. But I do want to see. Okay. It's like a slow debugging right now, unfortunately. Kembomb says, cool videos, by the way. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm planning on making more videos again. I've been pretty slow these days because I've been focusing most of my energy on working on the game so I can release it soon. And I got a job again, so I'm working. So it's between that, only time and energy I could find outside of that was to stream, because stream is just me working on my game. But I do have some plans, future plans, few ideas. You already know. Pixel art video. I'm working on the performance video, which is like, hey, like here's bazillion objects. You can make it faster by using server, like an object server. And that's always something that I wanted to do, and then come up with a maybe custom solution to make it even better. Could be fun. Okay, so I think we're still good here. Okay, it's going to ignore that. Sick. So it's not going to let me click. And then right here, something set it to true. Who was it? Move to POI. Oh, okay, so this move to POI command got triggered. It's being set to true, or it was already set to true. By who? At what point? I'm so disturbed by this. Let's see. It was arrival. Process arrival here. We do all that, and we say, oh. this one. Right. We got to make sure that the input is not allowed while we're processing. There you go. I don't know if this is going to have any other side effect, but Bobby Hill says, I have this theory that the reason why people are accepting of AI art or don't even notice is because of those Snapchat Bitmoji avatars that were everywhere. Oh, that makes sense. I don't know. I think people notice it. Like, for example, like, they have a very specific and distinct artifact, you know? Also, something that is very obvious is that the AI art is not very consistent with their resolutions. I don't know why they can't figure it out. They just can't figure out, like, there's an inconsistency in the way the pixel is expressed. I'm not even talking about just like pixel art. I'm just saying in general. But also, yeah, just like the visuals, it's just, I feel like it's more work than needed to get the AI to do visual better. Why did it let me move while doing that? It's funky. That shouldn't be happening. Ah, man. So annoying. It seems like today is just a debug day, guys. Boop says, I think we noticed the ones we notice. Sure. Confirmation bias. Void says, the one that irks me the most is the hyper detailed AI art. Yeah. Little oily, right? Like the AI videos always feel a little oily, if that makes sense to you guys. It's like a little too shiny. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, taste making is art, so like even if it does well and can do it consistently, I feel like I would still use my own. I mean, it needs to get really good. Like, the thing is, like, I can't even use real artists when it comes to certain things in person, so it's not a matter of is it good or not. It's a matter of like taste making. Let's see. Dialogue. We had one where I was doing the open eyes thing. We were awaiting on this to go next. But basically the input thing, I want to make sure this is also dependent on dialogue, or current dialogue panel needs to be visible as well. Okay, that will handle that. Next up, on the explore mode, I'm gonna go back to setting these values right here. FTUE. So we're gonna get this one. That. Let's see when that triggers. Boop says, yep, I only got into programming because I start with blank page and end up with something that can have a real world impact. Creating as foundational motivation. Eventually I got emotionally invested in the intellectual referencing parts of it. Yeah, that does happen. I mean, sometimes you do have to kind of step back and see what it is all about. But once again, you know, find your way. I feel like you can't. I think that's another silly thing, right? People are always talking about like, what should I do? What should other people do? Oh, here's an example of that works. Here's an example of that didn't work. You know, it's the FOMO. Like, we want to make sure we make choices that are optimal, but the truth is that there is no optimal choices. There is a choice that you make and consequences that you live. You just kind of have to kind of let go sometimes and just do what works for you with your own opinion and find out that it is or is not the answer. You know? Okay. It came in here. Right now, input is allowed. Why is that? Nobody set this. Like, this never triggered so far. That makes no sense to me. This should have been set to false here, because this ran. I'm going crazy. But yeah. Yeah. That is the life we live. Oh my goodness. Peach, again? Again? What are you doing in here? I think the cats wants me out. Let me just try to fix this before I even try to think about raiding out here. I really want to at least get this solved. I remember my goal is to release a demo by end of June. So I'm kind of, there's a fire on my butt, so to speak. So Void says, ooh, what? Oh, what? What are we talking about? Peach is really clean today. Yeah, no, Peach just doesn't like closed doors, I think. Okay, so on start, we said don't allow it. Resume. And then the next one came through. Move to POI, set it to false. Yes. And then process, explore, set it to false. Yes. So it is false. Something else set it to false. Oh, it's setting it to true. Because the start sequence finished. I suppose that makes sense. But I don't need to do this if I'm relying on... Okay. Explore. Because process arrival runs every time I move to POI. And on process, I'm not returning early, and then eventually I allow it anyways at the end. So I don't need to set it to true in order to do that. Okay, we should be good here. Huide Doer says, this software you designed for your game has qualities you imagine in code. Huh? I suppose it does. The MH mod or mood says, what programming language does Godot use? Well, you can use C# as scripting language. But default language it comes with is a scripting language called GDScript, which people compare to Python a lot. It's pretty good. It does everything it needs to. I like to stubbornly stick with GDScript because I have missions with it. But I've seen a lot of people have good time with both. Ken Bomp says, I'm sure some dude at ChatGPT is picking the pixel art that it uses. Potentially. I'll be surprised if they're looking that closely. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Huida? Huida? Is it Huida? Huidai says, is this OOP I keep hearing about? OOP? Object-oriented programming? I mean, I guess. It really depends. I mean, the scripting language itself doesn't encourage or discourage you from following the pattern of object-oriented programming, but I come from that background, so I think it fixed, by the way. So I do end up using that kind of pattern. Medellin says, hey, would you like a raid? Can you type back to me? I have sound turned off. Oh, yes, I would. Sorry, Medellin. Sorry for delay. I guess that means I have to stream for another hour or two if that happens. Boop says, since AI admittedly is better and faster at many things than I, it's really brought to the forefront that, hey, are you gonna do... Oh, you didn't get the first. First is already claimed. Sorry. Tathala, thanks for the follow. Arnio says, are we having input issues? Maybe the input event gets eaten before it gets to where it's supposed to. I don't think we do. I just had the really complicated web of things, so it should be fine now. See, it won't let me move. I'm clicking on it vigorously. Now it does. So it's doing everything it's supposed to do now. I had the little funky thing going on before, so now it's fixed. We're good. We're fixed. Okay, so the dialogue ordering and state locking is okay now. Let's see. Boop says... Hold on, I was in the middle of reading what Boop was saying. Hey, are you going to do something because you're into being quote-unquote cracked or because you enjoy atomic parts of the process? Huh? Are you asking me or are you just saying it in general? Oh, you're saying this is what you're doing. Okay, so Boop is saying, since AI admittedly is better and faster at many things than I, it's really brought to the forefront that, hey, are you going to do something because you're into being cracked or because you enjoy the atomic parts of the process? True. I mean, like, if you just want to like showcase being like, oh, I'm like a 100x developer. I'm going to showcase how fast I can do things and be perfect at it. Yeah. You know, in my youth, I think that used to be a thing. Hey, thanks, Medellin, for raid. Appreciate it. Hello, raiders. Welcome. 100x developer confirmed. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. I mean, like at work, maybe. At work, maybe I could be like, oh, yeah, look at me. I can do that. The honest truth is that I am performing pretty well. But personally, I do like to enjoy the walk. I like enjoying the walk. Okay, so this is a great time for talking about the realization I had when I first got laid off from Google. I had a dog. Rest in peace, Somi. She was a very sick, elderly dog. And the thing is, you know, I worked at big tech for a long time. And I was in Amazon and Google and whatnot. And for some reason, everything is so important, right? Like, deadline, doing the tickets. Like, hours are busy. I got to get here to get there. You know, home is just a place. Walking the dog is just a task. And then one day I just got out and I was walking slowly because, you know, I have nothing else to do. So I'm walking with my dog and the dog is enjoying sniffing the grass and whatnot, taking care of everything. Nobody's pulling anyone. We're just chilling out there however long it takes. I think that's what it's about. Like, that's okay, right? Like those moments I had like hundreds of them before, but I never stood there to enjoy that before. And I think that's kind of important to remember. Like sometimes I think some of our high achiever friends, what I used to be, and sometimes I slip into that again, is that we are very future focused, right? We're like, once this becomes successful or once I arrive at a certain point, once things have clarified, we can finally be at a place where we can enjoy, which is true. You do need that forward-looking mindset in order to build a future. However, we're so good at being black and white, I feel like, as people, that there's like we forget to balance that out with like, that's great, this is good, but how far is enough and how much? Because this is the thing that I've told people after that was like, well, remember, if you're worried about motivation, if you're worried about, hey, like I keep procrastinating, I don't know what to do. And the thing is, like, something that I noticed about myself and other people is that you procrastinate because you get stuck in this cycle of like, you are tired. So you rest. You are distracting yourself because you feel like you need to reclaim your hours. But then during those time, you're worried and guilty about, I should be doing something else. I wasted my time. Or like, I have this other thing I need to be doing. So you're not really fully resting. So then while quote unquote resting and wasting your hours, you're still quote unquote working and stressing. So then you never feel refreshed. So I think the idea is like you need to learn to, well, at least I needed to learn to just kind of like say, resting is part of the work. Resting is part of the grind. Because otherwise, it's gonna hinder you from doing things the right way. So here we are. Medon says, I learned this the hard way. Yeah, we all learned this the hard way. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure somebody at some point in my life has told me this before, and I probably ignored it. So ignore it as you will. Medon says, you kind of seem like you are. 100x developer? Yeah, no. I do take pride in the fact that I do perform well at work, but it has its limit. There's always somebody better. Let's see. Bobby Hill says to Mud or Mood says, I like Godot a lot as a beginner from what I can tell you. C# integration and its inclusion in the documentation makes it seem like it's the second best supported language. Yeah, kind of is. GDScript actually does so much and it works so well that I haven't had the need to. Okay, so there is some need sometimes of like, oh, they're like normal programming language stuff that is more convenient. For example, interface is like one of the big example. Having multiple interface implemented to a single object or class, very useful. But you know, that's kind of minor when it comes to overall things. Bobby says, Mood, you are correct and very helpful community to boot. What's it? Hold on. What did we say? Huday says, should I learn hexadecimal to make Godot click game? You don't have to unless it calls for it. It's not required. It says, thanks. I think I'll give a try, especially that it's open source, as I remember. Yeah, and the community is great. So that's what you're saying. Kane also says you can't even have an interface implementing in another in Unreal Blueprint, lol. Yeah, well, see, in an alternative world, Godot has it good. Bethel Turd, thanks for the raid. Well, thanks for joining the raid. Thanks for being here. Boop says, welcome Raiders. Welcome Raiders. Yes. Boop says, yes, it's crazy you use that example. I've been enjoying my snifferys with my dog so much lately. Exactly. Take your stroll. Enjoy your life. Why did you get your dog anyways in the first place, right? It's not a job. It's not a ends to a means, or what is it called? Means to an end. It's part of life. Emo Pig also said, learn this the hard way. Sorry, mega delay. No, it's okay. We're all talking about it. Classic burnout. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people found me through that kind of mindset. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people do feel in resonance with that feeling. Huday says, are you a full-time software engineer? I guess I am. Unfortunately, I am. So I was doing content making and game development for like 3 years, just living off of my savings, but time has come. So I think I just had a 1 month anniversary of working full time again. Pig says, congrats on the new job. Thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, I smiled through my gritted teeth. Boop says, yeah, you got me going out now. The weather's too beautiful to not take advantage. It's true. It's true. I kind of was planning on raiding out here in a bit, but since Medellin raided, I'll stick around just a few more minutes, at least 10 more minutes, and see where it goes. But we just fixed a bug, so I feel pretty good. Emo says, same lol. Yeah. I miss being fun employed. Oh man, those were the good days. Medellin says, unfortunately, very me. Wait, what are we talking about? I know I said a lot of things that could be unfortunately you, so you have to clarify. But hopefully, a lot of happiness and enjoyment out here, right? Bethelter says, the most important but hard to follow advice is to live in the present. It takes training, but literally one step in front of the next. It's not something you just do. It's something you remind yourself of. And that's the hard part. Yeah. And it's a lot to do with how we grew up. The thing is this, being like a grind mindset and being like a grinder, that sounds weird. Be, being a hard worker or other way around, whatever we do, whatever habit that we think is bad for us, we developed them because it protected us and it was successful. Matter of fact, I would attribute what people call my success, right? Being a software engineer at what quote unquote like places that people want to be at, going to a school or whatever, is partially, thanks to that part of me. So then I do want to hold on to that. Like I feel regretful of letting it go because that's something the internal conflict is always like, man, but it got me here. But it got me here. So what can I say about that? And I think that's where like a lot of the older folks tend to say something like, there's time and place for everything. But time and place, who tells us when that is? I don't know. Oftentimes it feels like whenever we find out the time and place of everything, it's often a little too late. So think on that. Think on that a little bit. All right. So I made the little energy bar. I'm thinking I'm going to try to correct some of these tutorial messaging. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm showing this like same intro part over and over again. It's just part of the process right now. I'm looking at what the visual looks like. I'm noticing anything that feels off or like unintentional and trying to put meaning in it to make it feel a little bit more polished. So that's just kind of what we're going to be doing. But otherwise, we're going to chat. So I'm sure that's fine. Bobby says, how often do you look at source code from other games? Not often, but I did look at Slate Aspire 2 source code here recently because I was able to decompile it onto Godot because it was made in Godot. And that was fun. That was fun to look at, and I learned some patterns there. Huidar says, Hui, please correct me how to say your, like tell me how to say your name because I feel weird every time I say it. Huide or Huide. Huidai says, my condolences, but how is the environment? How much AI is used there, and are juniors still working? I think I mentioned this before. I feel a little bit weird about juniors, quote unquote juniors. They're not even juniors yet because I've rested for a few years, right? So I came back at a level where what I would call my juniors have become now like at my level. So they're not technically juniors. But I would say something about engineers that are at a younger generation. I feel like I was like this before. They're weirdly confident with AI. Like there's like so much like positive vibe to it that I feel like, man, this seems dangerous. Huide. Okay, sorry. I'll say Huide from now on. But yeah, overall company culture, they're encouraging usage of it, They want you to be faster and better using it. Hold on. You can move by clicking on locations connected to your current spot. I'm going to reorganize that wording a little bit. Sorry, everyone. After all, I am here to work on this, so you can move. I think I shouldn't say you can. I should say move by selecting locations, adjacent location. Will that be too hard of a language? Move by selecting adjacent locations. Adjacent locations. Feels like that's better, right? I don't know. Is this too confusing? Tell me all the ways this could be confusing. Kane says, I always feel if I have to ask AI for something and I still don't get it, there is knowledge or know-how missing. I'm not as strong for CI/CD stuff, and it annoys me every time I see. Well, I mean, CI/CD stuff is like basically experience. It's like once you get the use case and like the trouble that is related to that, it makes more sense. Let's see. Boop says, I'm a grinder because ADHD, unfortunately, extremely tunnel vision. Yeah. I do like that part about me. I have a hard time focusing, but when I focus, I am so in it. Medlin says, Happy Pride, y'all. It's true. Happy Pride. June. Hey, look, I've been seeing, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I've been seeing a meme about like, because we are going from, what was the May month? It was like a new one. It was like a Pacific Island or Asian American month or something like that. What was it called? It was called Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And people were like, oh, I can't believe I need to stop being Asian and start being queer. Or something like that. I was like, oh, that's funny. But here we are. Kane says, I understand the concept, but I just hate Terraform and Helm and all its crappy template stuff. Why don't you use CDK? I guess, well, if you're not on that stack, I guess you can't use CDK. But if you're using Terraform, I'm sure you're in an environment that you can use CDK. Huide says, you should check the new Gears of War game tomorrow. Maybe you'll like it. Gears of War, I actually like the original Gears of War just because of nostalgia. I played with my friends and stuff like that at friends' house. I never owned the console, so that was like a good memory. But I think to me, Gears of War has outgrown its franchise need. You know? Yeah. It's a little... I don't know. It's too serious. I don't like games that are like that takes itself a little bit too seriously than it should. When it's like camp, it's kind of campy. The idea of Gears of War feels a little campy to me. Anyways, all right. Beffleturd says the most important about how no, I already said that. Madeline says when you said yes, I'm a software engineer. Unfortunately, oh yes, we are. Unfortunately. Boop says, no, we already read that. Oh, so bad at tracking. Tathala says, I've pooped into your stream. Popped into my stream. Yes, not pooped into my stream. Tathala says, I popped into your stream intermittently for the last like 2 months, and I have no idea what's going on with your coding, but it's kind of nice to come in here and space out. That's good. Hey, you know what? I don't care if you care about my coding, as long as this is a place of comfort and safety and just general vibe. That's what I'm most prideful about. Bethel says, we're getting deep indeed. Boop says, yep, some internal struggle. Happy Pride. Bethel says, introspection like this is often a significant factor in how we feel. We live in our heads more often than not. Yes. And it's kind of important sometimes to think about these things. Now, of course, you don't want to spiral all the time because the problem with these internal introspection is that there is no answer that you can conclude. There is caveat to everything. And that's what makes it so enticing as ADHDer to keep thinking about it, because it's like so much thoughts to be had. So exciting and tantalizing. But yeah, we got to move out. Huide says, popped in, pooped. Exactly. Messer Asia Miyazaki says, the fallout will be pretty bad and soon very expensive too for many companies. Yeah. I mean, I'm already seeing that in some of the smaller companies. I mean, bigger companies, I don't see it communicated as much. And my theory is not because it is actually effective or cost efficient for them. It's because they have stakes in AI companies. Big companies can afford to have large stakes and ownership in AI companies and AI tooling to resell. So it's against their desire to admit anything about cost effectiveness of the tool yet. But smaller companies who are 100% clients of these tools right now, I'm seeing them do the math. I am seeing the memes. I am seeing the communications from these companies doing the math. And it's kind of reflected in the job market, I feel. Beffelter says, it's clear when you look at Microsoft already. Yeah, true. Tathela says Asian and Pacific Islander month. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so delayed. Medon says, gotta run. Have a good stream, Ezra. Thanks for rating and stopping by. I already always enjoy having you around. Miyazaki says, Gears of War 12. No, thank you. Tathela says, Lamau, pooping into your stream. I am definitely pooping into your stream. Yeah, you know what? No judgment here. Feel free to chat and let me know that you are on a porcelain throne as you're watching me. You know, that's the kind of place we are. A conversational, what do you call those things that helps you poop? Intellectual fiber? No, there's a medicinal remedy. I don't know what it's called. You can tell how much I need it because I don't know it. Bethel says, yeah. Messer says, circular money flow. Yep. I mean, how far can we go? Stool softener. That's true. That is what that is. And thanks for the follow, okay. Uday says, but I want to know though, did you mean the new games are too serious? No, I don't think I mean that. It's just topically sometimes it's just I'm not the target audience, if that makes sense. So there are things that I was excited about, the ideas, the concept that was more exciting when I was a teenager, when I was in the early 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Different things excite me at different times. Some things are cooler than the other. And sometimes some of the topics are a little quote unquote too serious because emotionally I can't relate to that, right? Emotionally it's dramatized than how I would see reality as. And that makes me feel a little bit like, it takes me out. Miyazaki says constipational depressurizer. That seems awfully specific. Emollient laxatives. Yes, we are a place. I am the emotional laxative here. Tethela says, bro, I went from electrical engineering to HVAC installation tech, currently in an apprenticeship because I got laid off too much because of AI replacement. I'm glad you can stick with what you are into. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, that is unfortunate. And, you know, business decision makers make those decisions because they are, at the end of the day, it's all about money. And there's two folds to it, right? One, I get more investment as a company owner if I say I'm doing this thing that is exciting. So efficiency or not, it's beneficial for me to say I'm going to do this and then communicate and signal we're firing because we're saving cost. But reality is it actually? And we'll see. People will have to start admitting that it's not going to work. Miyazaki says, wait until they want you back because token costs 10,000 USD per month suddenly. Yeah, I think it's getting there for a lot of people, a lot of companies at least. Emopic says, it's understood and encouraged to use AI for all tasks. The focus is on finding any areas needing improvement or optimizing and then writing skills and over communicating to the team to share knowledge and being as efficient and effective with AI as possible. Every other day I'm reading teammates talk on some new skills they've written and I'm also expected of the same. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I think that's okay. And I have that experience as well. And the thing is the discernment. I think it all comes down to discernment. I mean, relationally speaking, as well as like career-wise and the tech as well. Discernment is what we need, and it's kind of tough because there's no rule around it. Emopec says, "I hate it, low-key." Yeah, no, it's kind of awful. The thing I shared last time that you weren't here, I think. Ironically, Medellin rated that time too when I was talking about it. The thing I noticed was that because it allows you to do so much more, so much faster, that a lot of the burden is on the reviewer, not the task doer. It's the task reviewer who is having to do most of the heavy lifting, which sucks because when we used to write our own thing, we didn't want to write too much. So we were more efficient at writing, meaning we write information that is easier to grok, more pointed, and more targeted. So information was limited to what was necessary to consider. If there was anything extra to that, it was via the discussion and it didn't have to be really documented. Something I noticed with the document sessions with the team in this world of AI is that, I don't want to say this, but sometimes I doubt that the doc writers have read their own doc thoroughly. And they're relying on the team to read it to verify it. Where I would usually expect a design doc to be like 1 or 2 pager that are really focused and then appendices. But now we have these like 6 pagers with so much information that I'm like, this is great. Why do we have all this? Like, that's not what we're talking. I mean, it's like, it feels weird. It feels weird. Related, unrelated, maybe. I don't know. Tathela to Miyazaki says, they've already called me back to redo the code optimization as contractor, but I refused the offer because it's too far from home for me to justify working it for a few months. I used to drive 1.5 hour one way every day. Wow, that's a long commute. Then 2 hours home. So unless the price tag comes up for me to come back, I refuse. Plus, I'm in the apprenticeships now, so I'm going to see through. Yeah, finish it up. Miyazaki says, we have had zero AI push from our management. Only one person at all in the company recently floated the idea in a company meeting. We shot it down collectively. It helped that some of the other seniors that have tried using it noted how unreliable and how they often spend more time fixing stuff than just writing it yourself. And I made it clear how it would kill my enjoyment and thus my motivation, so I'll never use it. I mean, that's a fair point to point out, I think. Emopic says, this certainly isn't how I picture how my career would go. I would be a baker if or when I get laid off. I mean, that's the goal, right? We want to get, if we're going to quit, we want to get laid off so that we get our severance for sure. All right, so that was fixed. You have limited amount of moves to explore as much as you can. Instead of saying this, I'm going to say moving requires energy. Stamina? Should I call it stamina? I think I should call it energy or stamina, I think. Moving requires stamina. I'm not going to handhold the player. I'm just going to say, because there's a part of the tutorial that I want to say, and you want to be careful and manage it. I'm just going to say, there's limited stamina. So moving requires stamina, or moving spends stamina. I think that's what I'm just going to say, and then highlight that. That's probably good enough. So we'll say right here, one of these. Where is it? Is it this one? Move by selecting adjacent locations. Your provision is constant when you're around moves. That's not it. Moves remaining. We're getting rid of that. Where's the tutorial message for this one? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to find this. Let's see. Miyazaki says, if you want to get fired, just make sure you become a nuisance, but still a well, you don't want to get fired. You don't get severance from being fired. I think you have to be laid off. And that is harder to guess or hard to force. But you know, big companies purposely leave the decision to random roll for layoff because if you cancel, imagine a scenario, right? Where I have a close relationship with my manager, let's say. And I say, hey, like, if you know layoff is coming along, it would be nice if you include me instead of someone else who needs it because I want it. Let's say I have that kind of relationship. That means manager gets to pick and choose who gets to benefit what, right? And I feel like in a company interest, that's something that they don't want to do or encourage. So, EmoPeak says, I just do exactly what I'm testing, nothing more, nothing less. Yep, same here. That's something that I've learned. In my youthful days, I used to go above and beyond, but now I'm like, this is not going to get me anywhere. I'm just going to do as little and quickly as possible. I mean, of course, there's the thing of like, I don't sit on my thumb and be like, hey, I finished my task. I'm going to wait on somebody else to tell me what to do. I still try to like stay on top of things. But, I'm not like accelerating so hard. I'm like operating at like maybe 67% capacity. And actually, AI helps doing that because if I cared about something, I wouldn't use AI as much as I do at work. But because I don't care as much, I'm like, well, if it gets it done, it gets it done. And token's free for me, so I just use it. Let's see. Emopi says, if I'm done early, then I'm done early. Bye. Yeah. I mean, I don't say anything. I don't say anything about that. There's like a fine balance, right? There's a fine balance of like, you finish so early that you don't say anything, but then you say it late enough after doing it early to still look like you're like a little bit above. You know what I mean? It's a little manipulative, but that's something that you do. Let's see. I can't find the message. All right, so let's see. Where is something about check and show FTUE move reset. No, not the move reset. Move count. That's right. Is this one? Boop, 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 boop. We're highlighting the move count. Is there a label that I'm highlighting? Player control, fade in, move count UI. Move count UI. I think this is. Why is this so hard to find? What's going on? It shouldn't be this difficult to find. I thought it was just a label here somewhere. Move count highlighter. So I highlight it. I tween pop property. The highlighter comes on. Oh, there it is. You have limited amount of moves to explore as much as you can. Moving costs stamina indicated here. Is that weird? Moving spends your stamina. Shown here. Should I say shown here? Is that weird? That sounds a little bit like tech design doc, doesn't it? Moving spends your stamina. Boop. And we do okay on that. I might actually change the text later. And then after that, we want to do move by. No, we already did that. Stamina is reset. Now maybe we say provision is consumed and stamina is reset. Mr. Miyazaki says, I can see that reasoning. As long as your own projects are hard-coded, then you at least won't degrade your skills. Above, offsetting the damage ChatGPT does to you at work. Haha. I use ChatGPT colloquially for LLMS for dramatic effect. I see. Yes. Then ChatGPT and whatnot. Exactly. Claude GPT or whatever. Anyways. All right. Same here. Let's see. Messaging this one is going to be... When stamina runs out, your provision... it is reset. And your provision is used or consumed. When stamina runs out, it is reset and your provision is consumed. Provision is consumed. Perhaps? Instead of title, I think we're going to use our description font. Yeah. And then same thing for this other two. Description font. Description. I think the exit FTUE should probably hold out here. So I think I'm going to disable this one because we don't have to worry about that. Comment this out. All right, let's experience this. Miyazaki says, Claude GPT. You probably predicted the future there. Oof. Accidentally calling the future. Call me Nostradamus. All right. Okay, I'm going to confirm the tutorial messaging and probably raid out here. Let's take a look at some of the options here. I think Hypnotic is up here. It's been so long that I don't even know who's out here. Well, thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please click on the pinned comment to go to my Steam page and wishlist my upcoming game Through the Shatter. Demo is planned to be released at the end of June. Hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see. Every wishlist counts. Otherwise, yes, thank you, Kool-Aid. Join Discord for announcements, my scheduling, etc., etc. Playtesters, random vibing, life reports. Yeah, I don't know. All that. Moving spends your stamina. Sick. When stamina runs out, it is reset and your provision is consumed. I feel like I should have an animation where the provision pops out. Like there's like a little animation that slides into the energy. Like, like that, instead of it just coming out here. So you can see it moving into here. And then later that translates to provision not spending, but instead heart spending is probably better. So that's probably a visual upgrade I'm going to do there. So that's a note. Good. I think we're good. You made it. You probably noticed that you need provisions to survive. Okay, well, anyway, so this one needs to be updated. Cool. I think we're in a good place. We're getting there. We're really getting there. I think the game is looking pretty good here. Miyazaki says, wishlisting with my personal and work account. Wow. Commitment. I appreciate that. All right. I think we can go to Big Boy, Hypnotic, or Fire. I haven't been to Fire in a while for whatever reason. What is Big Boy working on? Minigame rarity backgrounds. Lured in. Oh, yeah. They're about to release too. You know what? I'm going to go to Hypnotic today. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Leginger is already over there. Oh, but Leginger is going to sleep. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Follow me for more. Blah, blah, blah. See ya. Bye. All right. And then I can say bye to our YouTube folks out here.